Good morning. I want to look today in Matthew 22, the parable of the wedding banquet. You know, in life, we can have regrets. We can be sorry we go a certain way and suffer the consequence afterwards and say, oh goodness me, I wish I hadn't have done that, or I wish I hadn't have been there, and I would have went a different route. You know, we receive many warnings and signs too along the road, danger ahead, and we ignore it. So I want to talk today about, yes, regrets we have. It's quite a serious subject, this, but sometimes things in life are serious. And we'll read here the parable of the wedding banquet, of lost opportunity. I don't want anybody to have lost opportunity. I want them to hear the message of salvation, and it's so important. It's heaven or hell. It's going to heaven or not going to heaven, going to a lost eternity, going to hell, a terrible place. So listen carefully here, and you see where Jesus talks about these things. Verse 1 of Matthew 22, it says, once more Jesus spoke to them in parables. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who's having a wedding banquet for his son. He sent out his slaves to summon those and invite them to the banquet, but they didn't want to come. So that's a very serious thing there, The hand being handed out to these people, wanting to go to a lovely place, a lovely banquet, but they didn't want to come. Again he sent out other slaves and said, tell those who are invited, look, I prepared my dinner, my oxen, my fatted calf, and have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet. So there's love being reached out there to these people, not just once but twice, But look at verse 5. But they paid no attention and went away, one to his own farm, another to his business. Others seized the slaves, treated them outrageously, and killed them. And the king was enraged. So he sent out his troops to destroy those murderers and burnt down their city. Then he told the slaves, the banquet is ready, but those who were invited were not worthy. Therefore go to where the road exits the city and invite everyone you find to the banquet. So those slaves went out on the roads and gathered everyone they found, both good and evil, and the wedding banquet was filled with guests. But when the king came to view the guests, he saw a man there not dressed for the wedding. And he said to him, friend, how did you get here without the wedding clothes? And the man was speechless. You see, this is a very serious thing. There's going to be a day where you'll stand before God and you'll be speechless. He'll tell the way you've refused him, the way you wouldn't come while you had the chance. Then the king told the attendants, tie him up hand and foot and throw him into outer darkness, where there'll be weeping of gnashing of teeth. For many are invited, but few are chosen. This is a very serious message, and I pray to people, be very careful what you see. Please respond to the gospel. It's while you're down here, the opportunity is open. Jesus stood on festival day and he says, come you all you're thirsty and drink. If you're thirsty, come to me. So he is always reaching out to people. But sadly some people rejected him. They even killed him, but he came back, from the dead. There's other wee verses I'm saying, read the Bible for yourself, work things out for yourself. There's another wee verses that's just in my mind today, and it's in Matthew, just hold on now, 7. Matthew 7, verse 13. So here we have something similar again. He says, enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road is broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who go through it. How narrow is the gate and difficult the road that leads to life, and few find it. Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are raging wolves. You'll recognize them by their fruit. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or from figs or thistles? In the same way, every good tree produces good fruit. Every bad tree produces bad fruit. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, neither can a bad tree produce good fruit. Every tree that doesn't produce good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire, so you'll recognize them by their fruit. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but only the ones who does the will of my Father in heaven. On that day many will say to me, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name, drive out demons in your name, and do many miracles in your name? Then I will announce to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, from you, you lawmakers. So you see the seriousness of the gospel there. You can be superficial, but God wants commitment from the heart. He wants you to surrender your life to him. He'll not force you, he'll ask you, but you have to respond. What did he say to the disciples? Follow me. He didn't herd them up and drive them down the road to follow him. He says, follow me. So I pray today that you'll not miss opportunity while you're walking this earth. You'll hear the gospel, respond to it. Be very careful you don't respond to something that's not in the Bible. Always test things all the time. May the Lord help you today. Please respond to the gospel. Listen to that message of hope, not despair. Don't regret things. It's terrible to regret things. That's a tough message today I'm giving you, but it's truthful. It's from the Bible. May the Lord bless you. Bye.